Tav Chesam at base will begin Chesam at Aleph, 8 lines from the bottom. Gufa Omer of Yomi Barav Amarav Mavoi Shenirvetz B'Maloi L'Chatzer. If a Mavoi was opened entirely to the Chatzer, the wall between the Mavoi and the Chatzer was completely broken open, so the Mavoi is open completely to the Chatzer. So if you have a Mavoi and it's open to a Chatzer, so the wall between the Mavoi and the Chatzer, this is completely open. The wall here, we'll take it from this perspective, this wall is completely breached. So it's open completely into the Chatzer. Now, if we look at it from the perspective of the Mavoi is opened into the Chatzer completely. If we look at it from the perspective of the Chatzer has the side walls, the walls on either side, the Gidufi, the walls on either side of the Mavoi. So from the perspective of the Chatzer, there are walls. And if the opening is not 10 amas, from the perspective of the Chatzer, it's enclosed. Therefore, the people in the Chatzer, they're allowed to carry, but not the people in the Mavoi. So that's what we learn. Amrle Rabbi Barul Rabbi Barabaya, Rabbi Lamesh Hussein, he said, what's a Chiddush? It's L'chera Beferish and Mishnah that we learn later in the Masechet, Chatzer Ketana Shenirvetz L'Gedaila. If you have 2 Chatzeres, one open to the other, Gedaila Muter, so Ketana Asur. The large one is Muter, the small one is also Mipnei Shehi Kepischa Shel Gedaila, because it's just like an entrance to the larger one. So if you have 2 Chatzeres, you have the small one and you have the large one. So it's very similar to the case of what we just had with the Mavoi. So from the perspective of the small one, it's completely opened into the large Chatzer. It has no walls. From the perspective of the large Chatzer, it has the Gidufa, it has walls on the side. The small one looks like an entranceway to the Gedaila. The small one is like an entranceway to the Gedaila, so it's considered to be not separate from the Gedaila. It's considered to be part of the Gedaila, so it cannot, without an Eruv, you can't carry from this one to the large one. You can't even carry into the small one because it's considered part of the Gedaila, and therefore, without an Eruv, you can't carry here because it's considered an appendage to the Gedaila, and it doesn't have an Eruv with the Gedaila. But from the perspective of the large Chatzer, it has the Gidufa, the side walls. It's considered separate from the Gedaila. It's considered independent of the Ketana. It's considered separate from the Ketana, rather, and independent from the Ketana. And therefore, even without an Eruv, within the Gedaila, as long as it has its own Eruv, they can carry. So isn't that the same as the case we had by the Mavoi? What's the Chiddush over here? Amrlei Mehasam. If only from there, Hava Amina, I would have thought, Hani Milahech Deloika Darsi Rabin. I would think that's true over there in that case because there's no indication there that either of these are open to the Rishus HaRabim. So the public does not walk through over here. That's why it's mutter, so we can view the large one as being independent, and therefore it can carry without having an eruv into the small one. But when the public walks through it, like in our case over here, Nami, I would think that the Chatzer it's also to carry. So in our case over here, what we're talking about is that this end over here is open to the Rishus HaRabim. This opens also to the Rishus HaRabim. So the public walks through. They walk through from the street that's here, They walk through the Chatzer, and they walk through the Mavoi. I would think that because of that traffic, therefore the Chatzer should also be also. So therefore, Kamash Malan, that in the Chatzer, even if the Chatzer did not make an Eruv with the Mavoi, as long as it has its own Eruv Chatzeres, it's mutter. That's the Chiddush. Like the Gemara of Hanami Tanina. But we learned it from the following case as well. We know that because we learned Chatzer Sharabim Hasan Labezevi Yason Labezu. If you have a Chatzer that the Rabim come in one end, they come in through one end, and they go through the other end, so they pass through the Chatzer. They walk through Chatzer, it comes through one end, and they pass through and go to the other end. Rishus Rabim l'Tumah. As far as Tumah is going, we have the principle that Sofek Tumah Rishus Rabim is Tohar. So this is defined as a Rishus Rabim because the public walks through it. So we have a Sofek. If there's an uncertainty, if there's a Tumah, it's Tohar. But as far as Shabbos is concerned, it's considered a Rishus Yachid because it has mechitzas. It has the walls all around, so even though the public walks through, but it's enclosed, so it's considered Rishus Yachid Shabbos. That therefore we see that even though the public walks through it, it's still considered to be enclosed, and therefore you can carry over there. So don't we learn the same din from that case over there? Gemara answers no. No. The Gemara answers that there's still a chiddush, because if it's only from that case, I would think that it's permitted over there, it's permitted to carry only if the entranceways are not opposite each other. So we have a chotzer, they come in one way, and then they go out the other. I would think if it's only the entrance is here in one way, and then the entrance, the exit, or the other entrance is here to the side. And so one is here or here, and the other one is here or opposite. So they can't flow, the traffic can't go straight through. They have to make a jog or a detour. And over there, I would think it's permitted to carry because it's not really considered a public thoroughfare. We don't say the rabbin comes and is mevatel the Rishus Hayachid, the Rishus Hayachid rather. So I would think it's dafka in that type of scenario where I would say it's mutter. Dafka in that scenario. But if the entranceways are opposite each other, directly opposite each other, and they can go travel straight through, I would think it's also. That's why I need this case over here by the Movi and the Chaser to tell me that even if it's straight through, even if it goes straight through and the entranceways are opposite each other, that you can still carry in the Chaser. But frankly more, well, that's only if that is in fact the case. But Rava also. So, but Rava says if the entranceways are opposite each other, it is also. If they can walk straight through and you can see the entranceway from one end to the other end, straight line, it is also. It's only if it's a jog. It's only if the entranceway here is here, and then the entrance on this end is over here to this side, where they can't go straight through. That's when I say it's. But otherwise, if it's straight through, then it is also. So then, in fact, if it's straight through, it's also. Then it's only mutar if that's the case. So hadarav b'may moikim Allah. So b'zeh shaloi keneged zeh. It's only if it's zeh shaloi keneged zeh tatil amali. So why do we need both cases? The Gemara answers, no, I still need this case. Because even though it says over there that it's a Rishus HaYachid, I would think it only has a din of Rishus HaYachid to tell me that midaraisa it's a Rishus HaYachid, and therefore if somebody throws into that Rishus, he's chayiv. If he throws from the Rishus HaRab, he's chayiv, because it's a Rishus HaYachid, the rice avaletalta, to say that it's mutter to carry over there, that there's no Isser D'Rabbanan that's even mutter to carry, emaloi, kamash malan. That's why I need this chiddush over here to tell me that it's even mutter, if it's zeh, shaloi keneged zeh, it's even mutter to be metaltel. Itmar. We have the following scenario. Mobi also kanadal. If I have a mobi that is made like a centipede. So, let's assume this is a Rishus HaRabim. And you have Batim Chatzeres here, and this would continue further down and continue down. Now you have the Rishus HaRabim here as well. So what we have over here is we have a main entrance to the Rishus HaRabim. This is the long movi. This is a straight movi. Then you have these smaller mavois, these secondary ones that are open into the main movi. The main movi is open to the street, and these secondary ones are also open to the street over here. So they're also open to the street, and this one over here, there's a Rishus Harabim this way as well. It's also open to the street. So how are we misakin? Now there's many potential areas here that have to be dealt with. There are the entrances over here to the Rishus Harabim, facing the Rishus Harabim on this side. There's the Rishus Harabim this way. The Rishus Harabim is like, goes in both directions, perpendicular. There's the tikkun over here, and there's also the tikkun between the secondary mavois and the main movi, that tikkun along here. So how do we rectify the situation? So Omar Abaya, he said, on the main one, you make it Suras Pesach, you make an entranceway, and you make on these ends here, Alachi or Kaira on these entrances over here. That's what Abaya said. Omar Le Rava said, Kiman, who are you going according to? Kishmul Damar Tarasa Kisalsum. You don't require doors over here. So you must be going according to Shmuel, who says Serasa Kisalsum, that we treat this as not a Mavi Mefulish. We don't consider it as wide open, and therefore we don't require doors over here. So Kiman Kishmul Damar Tarasa Kisalsum, then Lamali Surasa Pesach. Then if you say it's Sarasa Kisalsum, then why do you even need a Surasa Pesach? Then if it's Salsum, you only need a Lachir Koyer. Why are you saying you need a Surasa Pesach? And another kasha, there was a case of Mavi Alkim in Harda, the Chashal of the Rab, and they were Chashish for Rab, and they passed him like Rab, that it has a din of a Mavi that's foolish. So how can you go like Shmuel and not like Rav? Elamar Rava, no, so it's not that. There's a different eights over here. Elamar Rava, Oiset Surasa Pesach Lakula Haigisa. We go like Rav, and therefore it's treated like a Mavi foolish. And therefore, if you go treated like a Mavi foolish, it needs a tikkun. But you don't need a door, according to Rav, I'm Mavim foolish. You only need a Tzuras Pesach. Therefore, what do? According to him, you make a Tzuras Pesach L'Kula Haigisa. For the entranceway, on the secondary entrances into the main Mavoi, you make the Tzuras Pesach over here. This is where you make the Tzuras Pesach, so that separates these side streets from the main Mavoi. It separates the side Mavuas from the main Mavoi. You make a Tzuras Pesach on the entire row of the side Mavuas leading into the main Mavoi. And the other side are Mishtre, that what's open into the Rishus Harabim, with a Lechir Kaira on all those sides that are open into the Rishus Harabim. Omar Rav Kana bar Tachlif Mishmei Rav Kana bar Minyumim Mishmei Rav Kana bar Malkiyo Mishmei Rav Kahana Rabbi the Rav. You said it in the name of Rav Kahana, who is the Rebbe of Rav. Amalei, some have another version that says Rav Kahana bar Malkiyo, that I knew Rav Kahana Rabbi the Rav. He himself was Rav Kahana, the Rebbe of Rav. What did he say? He said, Mavi should see the Echad Oruch, but see the Echad Kotzer. If you have a Mavi, so you have the Mavi, the Rishus Harabim, the Rishus Harabim you have, this is closed off, it's a Mavi Salsum over here, this is closed, it's open to the Rishus Harabim, but one side extends further than the other. So at the entranceway to the Mavoi, so it's not parallel. This wall extends further out than that wall. How are you masaking it? So he says, if you have the Mavei Shetzirach Rav Tzirach Kotzer, Pachas Me Arba Amas. If this distance between here and between this wall here is less than Dalet Amas, if it's less than Dalet Amas, then Manichas a Kaira Balachse. Then you can be masaking it with a kaira, like a regular mavoi, and you put it on a diagonal. And you can put the kaira on a diagonal. Normally the kaira is straight, but here, as long as it's less than Dalet Amas, you can put it on a diagonal. You can put it on a diagonal. Arba amas, but if it's arba amas or more, then then you have to take the short end and put it straight across, and you lose this area. You can't carry and this area up to this long side. You can't carry up to the long side, only up to the short side. Rav Amari says, can I get a counselor? He says, no, Dalet Amas or not Dalet Amas, this is the way you have to do it. You lose this area. I'll explain my reason and their reason. What's the reason for the heter for the kaira? Mishum heker. That's a heker, so people can recognize and see this is the Rishus Rabim, and this is not, and you can't carry beyond, you can't carry into the Rishus Rabim. You need a heker. So, therefore, Balachsan, I have a heker. If you're going to put a kaira like this, it doesn't serve as a reminder. It's not something that serves as a reminder. It looks like some other type of construction or some other type of a design or some other type of structure that is not used specifically for a kaira as a reminder. So there's no heker. And what's their reason? Kaira mishumai. What's the reasoning for the kaira? How does the kaira work? It's mishum mechitza. It's not a heker. It's a mechitza. If you have a kaira, the edge of the kaira extends down. We view it as extending down, and it's like a mechitza that closes off this area, so it's not opened into the Rishus Rabim. Ubalachsan, now we have a mechitza, and therefore by a lachsan, if it's on a slant, as long as the slope isn't that great, if it's less than Dalet Amas, then you can still view it as sloping down, and you have a mechitza. Rav Kahana, Hoyle Shmaitzer the Kahana, since we're talking about the Shmaitzer, these halachas, and it's the Kahana of Kahana, the Kahana are teaching it, Ema Ba Milsa. So he said, we're talking about Rav Kahana Batachlifa, etc. I'll also say a halach over here. That we say you can put it on lachsan, that's only if the diagonal is not more than 10 amas long. That's only if you don't have 10 amas along the diagonal. But if this is 10, if you have over here more than 10 rather, then you have to put it straight. You cannot put it on a diagonal. Everyone agrees that. Now, the Gemara has another shaila with a movi, a general shaila with a movi with a kaira. If you have a regular movi and they're parallel, and you have a kaira, can you carry underneath the kaira? In a regular case, can you carry underneath the kaira? Rav Chia, Rav Yechon, Amro Mutter l'shtamish tachas chayra. They say it's mutter. Shmuel, Rabbi Shimon ben Rabbi, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Amro, also l'shtamish tachas chayra. They say it's also. Leima maha kamifagi, the mar savar kari mishum heker. The one that says it's mutter to carry under the kaira says it's a heker. The kaira, the time of a kaira is a heker. Therefore, as long as you're within the outer edge, you see the kaira at the outer edge is a heker, so we can carry underneath it. The one holds kar mishum mechitza, he holds, and the other one holds mar savar kar mishum mechitza. The one who answers, he says kar mishum mechitza, and it's only the inner edge that we view as coming down. The mechitza is here, not there, so you can't carry underneath the kaira. When it says loy, not necessarily. L'kuli alma kar mishum heker. Maybe I'll tell you everyone holds kar mishum heker v'halcha b'halcha miflgi. This is the machlekes the mar savar a ker milgab, or mar savar a kelam bar. No, it's a heker, but where is the heker? Do you see the heker from the inside or from the outside? If the heker is only from the inside, you can't carry under the kaira. If the heker is on the outside, you could carry under the heker. So it's a machlekes of where the heker is, not if it's a mishum heker, but where the heker is. And the alternative the other way, the kuli alma mishum mechitza. Everyone holds mechitza. B'hal kamef and b'hal kamif the mar savra chuda penimi yar v'seisim umar savra chuda chitzan yar v'seisim. It's a machlokes. We say yar v'seisim. Is it the inner edge that comes down or the outer edge? But perhaps everyone holds a b'shum mechitza. Where is the mechitza? Is it here? Then you can't carry under it. If it's on the outside, you could carry on it. So perhaps that's the machlokes.